Here's what's making news now around Indiana. Well, the now hiring sign is out in Tippecanoe County, where BRIGHTMARK is in the process of adding another 40 workers at its new plastics to fuels plant in Ashley. The San Francisco-based company broke ground on the $260 million plant, billed as the first of its kind in the nation, about a year ago. And CEO Bob Powell this week showed me proof that production has begun.
I went out on the floor of the facility here, you can see in the background here, and pulled a couple of things out of the piles, like these chip bags. You may be familiar with those, or the red cups here. And even I've got a car seat base. We take a lot of the car seats in as well. And what we do is we create pellets like the ones you see in this glass jar right here, and then turn them into gases and liquids. And the liquids are used to create fuels and also candle wax. Maybe you'll have a BRIGHTMARK candle soon, maybe next year in your home or something like that. So we've made tremendous progress. And these plastic pellets, so far we've produced 150 tons.
There are currently about 40 workers on the job in Ashley, and BRIGHTMARK wants to add another 40 right away, eventually ramping up to more than 130.
We're talking about engineers who are highly skilled, down to folks that may not be engineers, but are really good at working with mechanical equipment. You can't see all of it behind me, but we've got a lot of mechanical equipment here. So mechanics, certainly maintenance people. We do have office personnel as well. So it really runs the full gamut.
Well, meantime, the president and CEO of GE Aviation, which has major operations in Lafayette and Terre Haute, has announced his retirement. GE announcing that David Joyce will step down after 40 years with the company. The new boss at GE Aviation will be John Slattery, president and CEO of commercial aviation for Brazil-based Embraer. He'll succeed Joyce in July. Well, after months of careful reflection throughout the COVID-19 pandemic, one craft brewery owner in Indiana has decided to completely restructure his business model to ensure his employees are taken care of. Around Indiana reporter Mary-Rachel Redman has details on how the Pint in West Lafayette is focused on much more than just making a profit.
Thank you, guys. Whenever you're ready.
Mr. and Mrs. Axford, allow me. How much should we tip?
In a perfect world, nothing.
We've all been there. You get the check and debate, how much should I tip? Well, one craft brewery owner in West Lafayette is taking that factor out of the equation.
In the service industry, everybody in the room is your boss. And that's a really tough thing to deal with because we rely on customers to make up the entire wage for the people that work for us. And unfortunately, that means that one bad day, a few bad tables, is the difference between putting food on your table or paying rent.
So Hagmeyer decided to move away from a tip wage system like most service industry jobs and instead pay his staff $15 an hour.
Indiana follows national minimum wage for a tip wage, which is $2.13 an hour. It's not enough for people to live off of. And for our particular part of the country, $15 an hour is considered at this point a decent living minimum wage for our cost of living. Now in reality, were a lot of people making that amount of money in the first place off of tips? Yes, a lot of people were, but not everybody was. What we can't do is focus on keeping the good shifts to be really good and have the bad shifts be really bad, and every week sacrifice somebody for the bad shifts. And if it takes people having to pay a little bit more for it, and it takes us having a little bit of a hit on the profitability end, that's worth it to better the lives of our employees.
The no tipping change will make a huge difference in the lives of Hagmeyer's employees, but for the customer, the only difference is $1 extra per pint.
The other part of it is just going to come out of my pocket. That comes out of the cost of doing business. The hope is that this is something that the community gets behind and that they see us supporting our employees, and then that helps make up that difference. But otherwise, I'm just committed to doing it myself.
And his employees couldn't be more thankful.
It definitely makes me want to put more effort into everything that I do. Showing that I am appreciated in this job definitely makes me want to put my best foot forward.
People don't understand that people are making $2, $3 an hour, and tips just aren't enough to pay bills, especially whether you're an adult or you're a college kid. I only hope that it puts the pressure on other employers and bosses and people that run businesses like this to step up and start caring for their workers like he has.
Mary-Rachel Redman, Inside Indiana Business.